So the question was, have you explored micro donations? You know, the pennies and the nickels, roundups, the acorns-like donations? Absolutely. So right now, we launched a partnership with Shopify several years ago. We built the first app that enabled Roundup. So any merchant on Shopify can use Pledge and now round up a purchase. We do thousands and thousands of microtransactions a day. I think on Shopify, $25 million of less than dollar donations. So it is huge because, by the way, those small individual actions by all of us create gigantic impact. Gigantic impact. Other questions? Look at y'all. Thank you.
There's one here.
One question I had is, I saw that you guys were venture backed, and I was like, VCs usually only invest if a business can generate like huge amounts of profit for them, so that they can return back to their whole fund. And so, how did you convince VCs to invest in a nonprofit?
Yep. Well, it's kind of funny. Did you guys notice how OpenAI was a nonprofit, now they're becoming a for-profit? We should ask that question of our buddy Sam. Well, we'll let John answer this. We're doing a Q&A. John is one of my investors. We'll let him answer in a few minutes. That's a great question. I think what they were looking for when they looked at Pledge was, I want to build a really valuable tech company that was going to change the world. And my belief was the philanthropic sector is totally underserved, and it's a giant market. So for my whole career, I built 3 companies in the mobile space that were in the mobile marketing advertising world. This stat will blow your mind. The size of the US advertising industry is $350 billion. $500 billion goes to charity a year. More dollars go to charities in the United States than dollars go to Alphabet, Meta, etc. So it's a giant market that historically has been underserved. And you're right that most Silicon Valley and most venture firms go, it feels too good, like too good for the world, can we really make money? But my fundamental belief and our team's fundamental belief is the companies with the greatest impact will be the greatest businesses in the future. I think about Patagonia, I think about Tesla. You know, those companies, paradigm changing. Patagonia grew and is growing like crazy, and their whole thing was, we're an environmentally friendly clothing retailer. Tesla almost went up as how many times? Now it's the number one automaker in the world, all through, you know, obviously EVs.
Hi. Are you focused on any other kind of collective action other than fundraising?
So yeah, we have done a lot around volunteering. So we work with a few very large companies who say, you know, they've found that if they have an engaged workforce that volunteers and donates, that's the ideal. They can retain their employees longer. So we have done some volunteering. We've also helped a lot of nonprofits think differently about how to engage different audiences, right? So instead of just trying to go after the same audience of donors they always have, it's how do they evangelize their mission, whether it's to companies, whether it's through Zoom, whether it's through different channels. And so that's another way in which we kind of help nonprofits think differently about their organizations.
Yeah, I can get off the question. What are the checks and balances and audits that are built into this to make sure that the money goes to causes or nonprofits that you're, yeah?
It's a great question. So the question was, how do you make sure there's checks and balances, the money actually goes to the nonprofit? You know, we pride ourselves greatly in this. So the way that our structure is, we have a venture-backed tech company, and then 100% of the funds go into a foundation, the Pledgeling Foundation, which is a donor advice fund that legally can only give money to nonprofits. And not only that, we actually track back the dollars so the nonprofit sees in real time, oh my God, there's a donation that just came in, and the donor actually sees that the money went to the nonprofit. This is one of the biggest pain points we initially set out to solve, because when you're giving, you don't really know if the money gets there. You don't even know the impact. And those are things that we strive to do.
Awesome. We have to switch to the panel, but thanks so much for the questions.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your generosity.
Well, we got some money in. Congrats.
Amazing.